Hi, we're Brooke and Kelly.
Hi! Welcome to another episode of today's podcast episode.
Welcome back to the Find Your Views podcast. Today we have the special guest.
Hi.
Hi, Lynley.
Hi.
It is so lovely to have you here with us.
Thank you so much. I am pumped to be here.
We are as well. For anyone listening, this is Lynley. She's freaking incredible. And she actually flew to Seattle so we could do this in person.
Yeah. So
She's
this is really special.
amazing.
She listens to every single episode. We're obsessed with her.
Big
And
fan.
we just are blessed that she's literally breathing the same air that we are.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's mutual.
Yes.
Welcome to Find Your Themes, the podcast and community for women who know they're meant for more.
We're your hosts, Brooke and Kelly, two founders, two entrepreneurs, and two best friends who are figuring it out just like you. Because if you have found that success is anything but a straight line, then you're in the right place.
Join us each week as we go through all things business and all things real life.
We're going to bring you along for the highs, the lows, and everything in between.
Grab your drink, get comfy, and get ready for a chat with your new best friends.
Let's like this shit.
So we're really excited to dive into today's episode and talk about a lot of fun different things. But before we dive into the episode topic, we're just going to have you introduce yourself for anyone who doesn't know who you are, what you do, who you serve, the whole nine.
Yeah. Who the heck are you?
Okay, Lynley.
Hi, I'm Lynley. I am the founder, owner, all the things of Scarlet Pine. It is a wedding planning, event management, and design company based in Bozeman, Montana. So I just love wedding planning and serving clients that feel not like they necessarily maybe need a wedding planner, but maybe just feel like they need a little bit more sense of peace in the wedding planning process. My favorite part.
I adore this. So check out Scarlet and Pine, everyone. It's
Especially
stunning.
if you're a 2026, 2027 bride. Check her out.
Yes. Yeah.
Call me. I travel all over.
So in today's episode, we're going to dive into lots of things. So planning and executing events at a scale as large as a wedding, because there's, whether you're like a 2026 bride listening who is planning a wedding or a business owner who puts on events for community, whatever it might be, I feel like there's a lot of nuggets and wisdom you can share with people on how to do that and how to organize it. But also you have a very interesting background with what your degree is actually in. And I think that can be a fun conversation. Okay, so as you know, listening to the podcast, we love to speak to duality because there's so much that happens at the same time in life. And I think it's important to bring more awareness to that. So people who are in a low don't feel alone. And then also people that are in a high know that others are celebrating with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's a part of the wedding planning process that fills your cup every single time, no matter how many times you've done it?
That is a really good question. I think when it comes to actual wedding days, there are certain motions that sometimes maybe feel a little repetitive for me because I do them all the time, but reminding myself that this is the first time I'm fluffing this bride's train right before she walks down the aisle, or the first time that they're truly hearing themselves announced as Mr. and Mrs. I hear it every weekend, but these couples, this is the moment that they've dreamed of, and that's so fun. And when I do remind myself of that, I'm like, this is so awesome for them. This is the coolest moment. Yeah. So I love that.
I love that so much. Kelly and I were actually recently talking. We've mentioned slightly that we're doing an internal rebrand within our own business. And one of the conversations we've had a lot is the idea of coming back to purpose.
Yeah.
Especially when you hit a wall with something, having that thing that you can bring yourself back to and go, okay, what is the purpose of why am I doing that? Let's remind ourselves that, and not even just our personal why of our own business, but for this client, why am I creating this logo or doing the 30th revision? It's oh wait, because I'm creating the visual identity that is going to be with their brand, ideally, forever.
Yeah.
Or we're building this marketing plan that will help someone be seen so that they can live their dreams and put food on the table for their families. Having this moment of coming back to the purpose and the intention kind of reignites the passion behind why you're doing it. Because whenever you get lost in the sauce of it being repetitive, like you said, it can be easily forgotten. It's just doing this again.
Yeah.
Another long train, another heavy dress.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm tired. I did this yesterday.
Right. But it's remembering this is why I'm here, because they've literally dreamed of this moment probably since they were little, if not for a very long time, and at the very least their entire engagement.
Mhm.
This is the moment. This is it for them, and that's so fun.
Yeah. And you get to help curate the large moments of a wedding and someone's most important day,
Mhm.
but also the small ones. And I
Mhm.
think that is probably the most important thing that I want to stress in general of people that are like, oh, well, I know other, event planners. I'll just use an event planner. Like, you're not an event planner.
Yeah.
You're an event human that takes weddings to that whole next level.
I'm a feeling curator.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love
I
that.
love that. That's important.
And
That's really
it's
important.
and it's true because like Kelly said, like, I think there isn't a difference in, like, I am not dissing event planners out there, y'all are freaking
Absolutely not.
incredible,
Yeah.
but there is a difference between an event planner and a wedding planner because one, there's just more emotion to it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I will actually speak on that. Like, I know a lot of people maybe tend to get frustrated with the wedding industry because they think it comes with a wedding tax,
Mhm.
mhm,
because wedding vendors and providers tend to be so much more expensive. But that's because we have one shot to get your
mhm,
dream day perfect.
mhm,
And we are putting that much more time and effort and dedication and thought into making sure it's everything you've dreamed of and more. It's not like we can send you revision after revision of wedding day. You only get one day to live it, and we want to make sure that it's your literal dream come true.
And there's so much more, and, like, we'll dive
Yeah.
fully into this, but there's so much more that goes into it than just
Right.
booking a couple vendors and showing up to the wedding day, and I'm sure as a planner, you can speak to that even more than the
Mhm.
regular human who you know what I mean?
Right.
There's just a lot that goes into it.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So many things that most people are like, "I never would have even thought of that." I'm like, "I think of it every day."
Like, I know, that's why I'm
Yeah,
here.
like, literally.
legitimately why we're doing
Yeah.
this. So with the yang, there's always the yang, right? So what is the part of wedding planning that challenges you, whether it's emotionally, logistically, statistically,
Mhm.
anything else?
Logistically, I would definitely say that, it's so interesting in a world where people are so glued to their phones. Getting people to respond is very hard. It's
Mhm.
very difficult. And I, not only myself, but often a lot of my clients and other vendors that I work with, one of the things I think we struggle with the most is just trying to get people to respond when we need them to, because things change in the wedding industry, like that. Um, and so we need to be able to communicate quickly and efficiently. And a lot of times, if we're not, if someone's only checking their email once a week, that really puts a damper on things sometimes. And so logistically, I would say that's probably one of the more complicated things that I deal with. Emotionally, this kinda takes duality to a whole second level because, it's both a good and a bad thing. One of the best parts about my job is that I get to take the bias out of wedding planning. It's not my family, it's not my day. I get to be unobjectively realistic about what your day is gonna look like. But that also means that, like, I have to remind myself this is the day for people, um, and I do need to care about it as much as they do because this is it. This is their one shot. Um, but that's kind of fun because then I get to take that couple and I get to take their individual personalities and love stories and backgrounds and mesh them all together in a way that is like seamlessly and perfectly everything that has brought the two of them together and everything that's bringing their families together and friends together for this one culmination of their entire lives.
That's one of my favorite things about you and Scarlet and Pine. It is the emphasis on storytelling because your wedding really is just giant
Yeah.
production and
Yeah.
story,
Right.
truly. And there is so much beauty of like we all have these chapters that we've lived in life up until that point where you
Mhm.
were just this person and your partner was just that person and you each had your own families and different paths and all that kind of stuff. And the wedding day really is the moment where they merge and you start a fresh new chapter together and all the people you love are around you. And I think there is just so much beauty in that and so much intention that you really bring light to
Yeah.
that I think is really cool because you don't I think what's fun is it's a way to be able to look at that wedding as truly more than an event. Like, it goes back to the event planner thing. Like,
Right.
it's a day, it's a story, it's a memory, it's a moment. It's not
Yeah.
just a day you put on a pretty dress.
Right. It's not just like a fleeting feeling or a brief moment in time. It is very brief because it goes by in the blink of an eye, but it is, like I said, a culmination of your entire past and your entire future too. Like this is the moment that is the catalyst for your married life with your partner, and this is what not like sets the tone for it, but this is the event that kicks off your life together as one, as
One
husband
unit.
and wife, or whatever that looks like for you as a couple. And so bringing an entire past and an entire future together is what makes it kind of what feels like daunting for some people. Like there's a lot of aspects to think about here.
I love that.
I don't know. I'm gonna die on the hill that you as a wedding planner is is such a higher level amount of planning because it is one day.
Right.
Right? You can be an event planner and you can host a conference and you can do, meetings or conference, even just like smaller conferences. Okay, let's say the tech doesn't work. All right, that's fine. We'll call the tech guy in, whatever.
Right.
If that happens at a wedding and it's during someone's like wedding video,
Yeah.
For
that
stamp.
yeah,
Right.
the whole tone. I just got goosebumps. I was a wedding planner for a very short amount of time in my life, and we had a speaker blow during the first dance at the venue, and it was a nightmare. And I just remember feeling personally responsible. Was it my venue?
Yeah.
Was it my wedding?
Yeah.
Was it my song? Was it my speaker? But I remember being like, this was on me, and I should have checked, if someone had it all the way up or they didn't and whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the extra stress that you have
Yeah.
is worth
Mhm.
the wedding tax that
Yeah.
people will say, and I will die on that hill from now till the end of time.
The mental toll it takes, because that actually happened at my wedding. One of the there was a mix up with music and audio, and the speaker, like we ended up having to use a different speaker system. Like
Mhm.
the DJ showed up unprepared. It was this whole thing, but it was something that like you look back on and go, that did change the vibe of things.
Yeah.
In so many ways. A lot of the older people at the wedding were like, that was lovely. We could hear each other talk because it wasn't an overly loud wedding. I was like,
That's not what
I
I
would have
wanted
rather
though.
party.
You're like, fine,
Yeah.
fine.
So yeah, I
But it
agree
wasn't
with
your vision.
everything you said.
Right.
Because it is. It's this
Yeah.
mental toll of it.
Right. And sometimes when you have a vision like that, if something doesn't go the way you want it to, sometimes that's okay.
Oh,
But you've
100%.
envisioned it that way for so long that it kind of takes you a minute to like step back and be like, okay, I actually am okay with this. But you
Mhm.
need someone, and sometimes on a stressful day like wedding days, that's not your partner. You
Mhm.
need someone to be like, look, it's fine. We're gonna fix this
Mhm.
and keep rolling. And if you don't have a person to kind of like provide you with that space to have a mental check-in,
Yeah.
then that derails the rest of the day.
Well, and I think it's cool to have a person that isn't your partner for the purpose of this is their day too.
Mhm.
And it's not putting all of that mental weight and load on like, I have to make sure she's okay, or I have to
Right.
make sure he's okay, or like whatever it is. It's allowing them to truly live and be present in that moment and know like
Mhm.
someone else is handling it. I don't have to console them. It's being taken care of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not just for brides, it's for both of you as a couple. I'm there to support both of you and provide both you and your partner with that space to like sit back and be like, okay, I have spent X amount of time planning up until now. Now I can hand it all over and I can actually enjoy the work that I've put in because
Hmm.
someone else has it all under control. And that's like, even when I was a bride, that was having a person like that was the most important thing because I was like, when I get to wedding day, I don't want to care about a damn thing.
Right.
I don't want to think about a damn thing. I want to show up, put on a pretty dress, and say I do.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's
My
it.
makeup is already
And then
picked out.
party my ass off.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. It's about
Mhm.
me and the human that I love, and that's all you
Mhm.
should worry about.
Exactly.
Everything else, even if there's a problem, you shouldn't hear about it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why you have a wedding planner. Is like when that speaker blows, you shouldn't even know.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because it is literally your job to take over those details and yell at 27 people if you have to, or go buy your own speaker really quick or whatever to
Mhm.
fix
Yeah.
that. Because it shouldn't ever be a bride or groom problem.
Yeah.
Nothing should be.
I
Yep.
had a flower girl, this cute little, she was like almost 2,
Aw.
and she spiked 103 fever 20 minutes before we were walking down the aisle. And I called one of my assistants. She wasn't on that day, but I knew she was in the area. I called her and I was like, "Hey, the parents asked, they gave me permission to go get children's medication over the counter from the drugstore or whatever. Can you run and grab this?" She was on site at the venue in under an hour. By the time the ceremony was done, we got her medication, brought her fever down, and like 2 weeks later, the bride from that wedding texted me and she was like, "I had no idea she was even sick. Not a freaking clue. No clue." I was like, "You're welcome."
Yes.
This is why you hire Lynley
Lynley.
specifically, not Scarlet Pine. But truly, like it's allowing the bride and groom to just be in their moment and all of the
And not
fires that
have
are
to worry or
happening.
think about anything. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's take it back a little bit. why weddings? What was the catalyst for you that made you go, that's it? That's what I want to do? Because I know you've had many lives in your life.
Yeah. What did you want to be like when you were a little girl?
Yeah.
Okay, when I was a little girl,
Yeah.
I wanted to be a farmer. I wanted to have a ranch and have a million animals. I didn't ever want to be a veterinarian because I was like, that's a lot of hard
Sure.
thing
Yeah.
mentally. I just wanted to like love on animals all day long. So I get to do that now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so fun fact.
I live
that-
on a ranch.
yeah. Yeah. For all of you listening at home, she also has a ranch.
I do,
so-
yeah. I married into a ranch family that's been established for over 120 years.
Incredible.
And they're like just absolutely the best family ever. And we have all the farm animals, and I get to love on them every day, and it's marvelous.
And it's
Yeah, that is lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so check. That one happened.
Fast forward.
Then what? Yeah.
Growing up, I was really interested. I was always watching like CSI and CIS, Criminal Minds, things like that. And I was like, that's me. I want to do that. That is badass. And I did. My degree's in criminology with a focus in psychology, and I did some open source intelligence. I worked through the university for about 2.5 years in college, and then I did a brief internship with the district attorney where I did go to school. And like I said, I just did open source intelligence. So that means basically social media stalking people, because you would be surprised what people put online. I can learn a lot about someone.
I'm obsessed with this.
Wowzer.
Yeah.
Are you a big true crime podcast listener?
This is really funny. I was for a long time until my husband and I were traveling and we had to stay at this really sketchy motel. And I was so paranoid. I slept with my socks on so that I could be ready to like jump out of bed and run if I had to. And I made him get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and leave so that we could just get away. And at that point, he was like, I think you need to take a break from listening to true crime.
We just talked about this, the overactive imagination situations from being in.
Thoroughly understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't watch any of it.
Yeah.
0%. There.
Really?
I won't sleep for days. I'm actually not joking.
He's not kidding.
There is still, I think I talked about this in the last podcast we recorded. So welcome back to the story. I think there was a scary movie that I saw a trailer for.
Oh no.
Not even the movie 15 years ago. And I still
And you
think
still
about it
think about it.
every week.
Oh no.
Like every week.
Yep.
Like in the movie, there was multiple scenes that were, or in the trailer, there was multiple
Yeah.
scenes that were creepy, but one of them being like the girl like rolled over in her bed and her partner basically ended up being like a demon and was like, eh. Every time I roll over in the middle of the night, I low
That's
key
what you
expect
expect
Alec
Alex
to
to
be a
look like.
demon.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I can't watch true crime.
Okay.
You scar me forever.
Yeah.
Or listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and I also love, I don't love true crime as much because I was like, that's so real. But I have zero problem watching insert any scary or thriller thing or movie or podcast. That doesn't bother me one bit.
I think I'm flipped. Like
Mm.
I can listen to true crime all day long, but scary movies, I think it's like the jump scare
Yeah.
thing that gets me. And I'm like, because my husband does that, knock it off.
Like,
Yeah.
stop it.
Not
Cut it
funny.
out.
Right?
Yeah.
We've been through this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you did that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then what?
Yeah. Then
Because this is fascinating. Like,
Mhm.
what is that pull from A to B?
Yeah. So the first case that I worked on when I worked for the district attorney, I'm not kidding you. Can you hold this?
Yeah.
The case file was like this thick. It was massive. I mean, it was this like manila folder that was like busting at the seams. Thank you.
For anyone listening, that was like an 8-inch.
If you couldn't see.
If you couldn't
Yeah.
see. Yeah. Yeah.
It was probably 8 inches worth of paperwork. And it was I won't go into details, but it was a very dark case. And I think just being in the reality, because everything I'd done up until that point was, I mean, we took contracted cases through the office that I was working for like CIA and things like that. And so it was very removed. But being with the district attorney, I realized how close to home it was hitting and the fact that it was such a dark case. I think I just kind of said to myself, maybe this isn't the world and the headspace that I want to live in.
Constantly.
Yeah, constantly.
Because that's even like, not to interrupt you.
No,
I
you're
apologize,
fine.
but
Absolutely.
like, if I was in that position, I could just imagine, because you can't really talk to anyone, right? So,
Right.
besides the people that are in your
Very
office.
confidential.
So
Yeah.
if it's something really crazy happening in the world and you haven't called that human and you live in that town and you have kids in that school district or whatever,
Yes.
I would think about it constantly. So it's
Yes.
not even like you close the case and you go home. It's like you close the case and you freak out when you go
Right.
home. And that would just be me. And
Yeah.
so I empathize with this was dark and heavy and unsolved and it was on my desk.
Yeah.
Like that
And it
whole
was in
situation.
my community.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily like to live in a world of delusion, but I also think that, like, living in a headspace where you're just constantly thinking about the negative and everything that's wrong with the world, that's not the headspace that we're intended to live in.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted a brighter, I wanted happier days at work. So
So bless everyone that is in that
yes,
field. Bless the
yes,
police officers and just
Yeah.
everyone, because
100%.
again, there's zero
Thank you
way
for
that I
your
could do that.
service.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So thank you. But then we chose joy instead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that, I left the district attorney. I packed up my house in my college town, loaded my dog into the car and drove cross country. Before I was where I am now, I was kind of all over the Southeast, so like Georgia, Florida, Alabama. And I've been in Montana for 9 years. And that is crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like I just moved there, but 9 years now. And I kind of worked some odd jobs over the years here and there. And then when my husband and I got engaged, I really decided to leave like the corporate America traditional workforce because it just was sucking the life out of my soul. And I knew that there was something bigger and better out there for me, in a way that I could serve people that it filled their cup and filled mine at the same time.
That's
And corporate
amazing.
America just didn't do that for me. I know how
Same.
you feel about that.
I do.
Both
Yeah,
of
me
you.
too.
Yeah.
Preach, you're on the right podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. Yeah. So now, you get to spread joy and you get to bring people or make their best day better.
Yeah. I think I really enjoy wedding planning because for so many people it can be so stressful. And I actually get to be a huge part of the reason why it does feel more joyous and less stressful and more just like you're like, this is the best day of my life. I'm marrying my person and my soul is at peace.
Yeah. I mean, even today, like you had a call with one of your clients or someone in your client's family, and they were talking about something is wrong with flowers and whatever. And instantly you're like, all right, this is the game plan. This is what we're doing. She hangs up and is like still in a joyous mood. And it wasn't even like oh my gosh, everything is ruined.
Yeah.
Life is over. The flowers are broken. You
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
so I could see people that are not you in that scenario, or even a bride just being overwhelmed with like, this isn't right. This isn't what I ordered. This isn't what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And you're like, everyone, calm down. Here's the plan. Let's freaking kick butt and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it kind of
That's a
ties
whole
back
skill.
into the criminology thing too, because I'm still problem solving just in a very different way. So I still get to think on my feet and be quick with a result or a resolution. Just not in a dark twist crime
way.
related way.
I have 2 questions here.
Yeah.
First, what was the moment that you went, okay, because from criminology to weddings is like a
Big
little
span.
bit of a jump, like just like one step over, you know? What was the moment that brought you from criminology to weddings?
Yeah. I think after that very dark case, and I kind of just like threw my life up in flames and changed everything that I knew. I wasn't really looking to go back to that. I really just wanted to distance myself until I felt like maybe I would get to a place of like, okay, I can try again, and that just never came. And then throughout my own wedding planning process, I had like a decorator coordinator, and I fired her. Because she had taken on an absorbent amount of responsibilities in a different field and just couldn't show up for me in the way I needed someone to. And then I brought another person onto my vendor team, and she was phenomenal and wonderful. And I remember on my wedding day, she was like darting by me trying to get some shit done. And I stopped her and I was like, first of all, you're doing great. So, like, whatever you're rushing to do, it's not that important. Because I was very much the bride that was like, meh, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're here.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just need you to know how much I appreciate you because you just instinctively knew what needed to be done just from being in the industry. And I really had a great sense of appreciation for her for that. And I also just felt like that was a role I could see myself in. Again, because of the problem solving and I saw how much she filled my cup on that day and I was like, I want to do that for other people
Like the
because
honor that she.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I will always remember her as being an absolute rock star. And to this day, people still come up to me and tell me what an amazing vendor team I had on my wedding day. And so if I can give someone else a fraction of that, just like peace and sense of awesomeness of yeah, I would love to do that. Absolutely. Let me serve you on your wedding day so that you can have the best day of your life.
And you, I know from like previous conversations, enjoyed planning your wedding,
I did.
which
I'm
is
one of
not
the few.
normal.
Yeah. One of the few.
So, like that takes a special person. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's a big piece of it too.
I called my coordinator after wedding day and I was like, I think I missed wedding planning. And she said, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Like I was like, well, a lot, but we won't get into that.
Are you sitting down?
My
Yeah.
answer for me.
But then she hired me and I worked and I shadowed for her for almost an entire year.
That's incredible.
Amazing.
And she was wonderful and she fully supported me launching Scarlet and Pine and did a lot of training and mentoring through that process. And she's a big part of why I'm here today.
That's incredible.
That's lovely. The people you meet along the way. That's such like a special.
And we still work together every year. Whenever, like last year, I supported her on a wedding. She supported me on one just last month. We still work together whenever we get a chance, and it's wonderful. They're like the
really
best
lovely.
days.
This is your reminder for anyone listening of community over competition because y'all are in the same
Yes.
industry.
Yeah.
You have every reason to be competition instead of partners and helping lift one another up.
Yeah.
And that way,
And
life is
it's great.
just so much better.
Now we get to bring each other clients if we're already booked on that day. Then she's my immediate first default.
Yeah.
Like yes,
Amazing.
you want her.
Literally.
I literally did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And we both know where each other's strengths and weaknesses are. So if there's a client that wants a certain service over something else, I can be like, maybe I'm not your best fit, but I bet she is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, there's power in that because it's not like you
Yeah.
can't. It's not like
Yeah.
you can't do it. You would do it. It would be
Right.
fine.
Right.
But that also speaks a lot to you as an entrepreneur of I don't need to take everyone just for the money. I want to make sure that you're served in the best way.
Yeah.
And that is a very special service first part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of entrepreneurs don't have that. They have, I'm going to take whatever client I can because I need to make all this money. I've been there.
We've all been in that season, yeah.
And I still would say that we're amazing service people. But sometimes you're in that moment. But if you're like, you know what? I could do this and it would be great.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you this other human as a literal gift because it's going to be 12 times better and this is your day.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
so special.
Mm-hmm. And that's why like discovery calls
Mm-hmm.
are so important too. And I always tell my clients when they inquire with me, I'm like, you know what, let's just before we get into all that nitty gritty, like I'll tell you what you need to know. But let's hop on a call. Let's get to know each other. You're gonna see me a lot on
Yes.
wedding day. I want to make sure you like me, not like I'm showing up and you're like, oh, she's
Mm-hmm.
here. You know,
Totally.
like
Yep.
you're gonna see me a lot. I want you to be excited about it.
You're low key gonna see you. They're gonna see you more than their groom probably. Or
Yeah.
bride because
Mm-hmm.
you're
Yeah.
hanging out for the get ready and the pictures and
Especially like your media teams, like your photographers, your videographers, and your wedding planners or coordinators or whoever, you see them probably way more than you see your partner. Absolutely.
I believe that.
I do too.
So like if you want to enjoy the day, make sure you like your people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're with you, like legitimately strapped to you.
Yeah.
You have a problem, those are your people.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned earlier today when we were talking about a bride that had like a footprint on her dress. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Can you just re-say that story? Because again, if it was someone that didn't like respect you and trust that you're going to fix this problem,
Right.
She could have thought you'd make it worse.
Right. Yeah. So we had just finished, all of the like wedding party photos and everything, and we're taking a quick beat before the ceremony starts. And so we're kind of all back in the bridal suite and everyone's like touching up their makeup and whatnot. And bride like gets situated and she like turns around, she looks down, and there's a huge dirty footprint. I mean, like size 12 man shoe footprint on her train. And it's not like on the back where like it's at the bottom, it's like right next to her body. I just remember she like froze and she looked up at me and her eyes locked and I was like, it's okay. And she kind of got a little hesitant.
Is it okay?
She's like, is it? Are you sure? And I was like, it's fine. I'll be right back and we'll get it taken care of. And you could just immediately see her shoulders, like she like breathed. She'd been holding her breath, and yeah, she was just like, okay, we're gonna get it fixed. Is that possible? Is that doable? I was like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Just give me a second and we'll have it taken care of. And we did, and within like 5-10 minutes, we had it within reason pretty much gone. And the ceremony went on. We weren't even late. Yeah. We just snapped it out like that. And she was like, you literally could not tell unless you were looking for it.
And again, there's literally so much to say about not even just you and your like stain fighting skills, but just
share that hack for everyone.
which is amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it was sprayed or tied to go or whatever the deal was.
Neither.
Okay, really quick.
Neither.
Tell the crowd.
It's peroxide toothpaste. And like
just toothpaste?
a cup of warm water to like dip the toothbrush in. Make sure it's a clean toothbrush, please. Nothing that you've like cleaned your mouth with. I keep a clean toothbrush, and like if I have to use it at a wedding, I replace it every time. But yeah, just like the tiniest dab, and just lightly brush it. And it should take. And if it doesn't do the trick, have white chalk on hand because you can chalk over whatever spots there are.
Genius.
And it just blends right in and it just dusts over the stain or whatever it is.
That's genius.
Okay.
This is why you had a
Toothpaste
wedding planner.
But that's what I'm saying is like even just the fact of like, okay, you're the stain fighting goddess, but you also calmed her down immediately. And for me, that would actually probably make me feel better than you doing the physical act.
Yeah.
It's the trust that we know that you could do it. And the instant like lock eyes. What do I do with my eye? Like she was talking to you without probably screaming because I'm sure that's what she would want to do, but she was frozen.
Yeah.
And you were just like, hey, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Providing that space for couples to know that they're taken care of and to know that they can truly sit back because I really do have it handled. Because people always ask me, don't you get nervous on wedding days? And I'm like, I get excited because I enjoy what I do, but I don't really get nervous because I know that I have it handled. I'm overly prepared and nothing is going to stop you from getting married. And that's what matters.
Yep.
That's literally it. Yeah.
My second question that I had from earlier is, again, criminology, the wedding planner. I just find it the most fascinating jump. So what skills, I know you already mentioned the problem solving has transferred.
Yeah.
What skills from your criminology life have oddly translated well into wedding planner?
Body language. 100%. I mean, like the bride looked up and the terror was in her eyes and I could see it. So reading her body language, I was like, okay, she's freaking out. I need to keep my cool and I know that we can solve this problem. But I even like to take it a step further and just be really cognizant of everyone's body language. If there's like a bridesmaid that's really fidgety and she is maybe just having anxiety about like standing in front of people, how can I ease that anxiety? How can I just like give her a little pep talk? Or sometimes they just need a hug, you know? Or sometimes it's like reading the body language of the family members and knowing that like these two family members maybe aren't on the best of terms. So if I need to grab someone or if I'm putting groups together for family photos, which I mean, we already have a shot list, so I know what that looks like, but I know how I can kind of guide people through to make sure that they're feeling their best on their day and not adding to any unease or anxiety. Reading body language, especially with the couple, but with everyone in general, has been really helpful.
Has that ever happened like in the moment where you have to like move seating arrangements around for dinner? So you're like, oh no, Jimmy and Johnny got in a fight this morning and we
I
need
can
to
tell.
move some things around.
Plates will be thrown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have had some family members that, quite frankly, they just got a little too drunk to be appeased by anyone.
Uh-huh.
And so instead of like over communicating with them about what's going on and how things are, the timeline's still on track or whatever, I just had to like let them be and let the bride know, um, like Aunt Sally's just kind of having a moment. We're gonna move some things around and then we can circle back and finish this later and get a picture with her later or something like that. And usually they're pretty understanding because they know their family pretty well too.
Mhm.
Um, but I've definitely had to kind of be like, okay, they need some space from people in general, and like not just me or my team or the wedding party or the couple, but like they just kind of need to decompress a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So obviously body language, but I'm sure there's even like an emotional regulation aspect of that too.
Hmm.
Like you had said about like the bridesmaid that has anxiety. Has
Hmm.
that ever happened with like I'm picturing like father of the bride, and you're like, it's okay, like it's your baby girl, we know, but it's gonna be
Yeah.
like, have you had any of those like emotional moments where you're like, okay, dad, just I know this is a big deal, but it's gonna be beautiful, like anything like that?
Yeah, I think I haven't had anyone like completely emotionally come apart. Um, but there are definitely, I mean, I've had some couples that after the ceremony, some people just have a low capacity for an exorbitant amount of social interaction, and that's fine. And so after the ceremony, they were kind of just like,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, I'll take your photographer. I'll have them get shots of this. Why don't you guys go back to the suite? Take 10, 15 minutes. I'll bring you a snack. I'll bring you a drink. If you need a shot, you need water, whatever. I'll take care of you. Go decompress. Go have your time. Go be with just each other. Because really, like, there's only so much I can do to calm someone down, especially in a moment like that. You really do want your people. So if it's you need your best friend, do you need your mom, do you need your grandmother, do you need your husband or your wife or whatever that looks like, how can we get you to that point so we can like recharge that battery a little bit, rebuild that capacity? How can we like return to joy quicker?
Mhm.
Um, and those are just things that you have to tackle on wedding days. That happens all the
Mhm.
time.
Do you tend to recommend to couples to plan in a little bit of like decompress time between ceremony and reception or, like,
That's something I really tailor to each couple. Some people are like, "Yeah, let's party. I wanna spend all day with my friends and family, like, it's gonna be the best." And some people I can really take them for their word at that. Some people will inherently think, "Oh, I'm gonna have to be around people all day, so that's just gonna have to be that." And I'm like, "No, you can take 20, 30, 40 minutes. You don't have to enjoy your cocktail hour at all if you don't want to. People don't expect you to be there. So if you want to go chill in the suite upstairs or wherever, do it. Yeah, absolutely. I've had couples that have wanted to enjoy the entirety of their cocktail hour because they didn't want to miss anything. And I've had some that are like, I don't want to see anyone until we do our grand entrance and sit down for dinner. And so I do try to navigate that as best I can by going off of past conversations and reading their body language when we have meetings and getting a vibe for what they expect out of the day. And I do like to ask them, like, do you have a preference? What does this look like? These are the options you have when we're building your timeline.
Mhm.
Um, it's just all things that you have to take into account.
Personal question
Yeah.
for both of you,
Mm.
all of us actually. Just something that I really want to know.
Yeah.
Um, what would you say, and I'll even answer it.
Okay.
What would you say was the best part of your wedding?
One of my favorite memories from my wedding day was the end of the night. My husband and I had just done our, like, big send-off. We drove off in a vintage Bronco.
Oh, that's
Hey!
stunning.
Okay,
I need
that's
to see
dope.
photos of
Yeah,
this.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay, I was like, that's so
Um,
freaking cool. Do we own said vintage bro?
it's my sister's, yeah.
Stunning. I'm so stoked that you have a sister moment.
I
And
love it.
Yeah.
I love that. For me, I was like, they didn't win, right? Like they can see this Bronco again.
Yeah, yeah, it's my
I think your
sister.
sister should give it to you. I'm just saying.
I hope they leave it
Sister.
to me in their will.
Best wedding gift ever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So we had just done our send-off, and we're driving away, and I just started crying, and my husband looked at me, and he was like, "What
Oh
is
no.
wrong?" And I remember looking at him and I was like, that was the best day of my life. And it kind of just like hit me. I was like, we just became like true partners. Like you are my husband. I will never love anyone as much as I love you. And all of our favorite people were there to celebrate us. Like that is, and I know it was a mutual thing, but to me, it was like, that is such a testament to the man that I just married and to the love that we share and the relationship that we have. And I was like, this will never happen again. And I think that's why I was crying. So I was like, it's over. I don't want it to be over. But just knowing that like we just shared the deepest parts of ourselves with each other and with the people that mean the absolute most to us. And that just like it hit me in the feels, you know? Right
Totally.
straight in the
No, I
feels.
love that
I
though,
love
because
that too.
it's that moment of like you plan this big thing, you get to the big day, you go through the motions, not to make that sound emotionless, but like
Right.
you're very
It's
in
a
it. It's like and next
process.
and pose and say this and do that, and then you finally have that end of the day moment of going, I just got married. Like there's that
And we
moment.
just
It
did the
never hits you in the
dancing.
real moment. It's
Yeah.
later that you're like,
Later.
oh shit.
Yeah. And that's one of my favorite parts about wedding day now. When you see the couple at the end of the night and they're like,
Oh,
I just had the best day of my life. You're like,
Yep. I
that's
know it. You're like,
Yeah,
I know
it's
it.
right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really. Was he like? Yeah, it was great.
My husband, if you know him at all, he's so stoic and so monotone. He was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I'm over here like crying.
enthusiasm.
Oh my gosh,
Nice.
that's so funny.
And I know that he truly felt the same way I did,
Yeah.
but he was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, cool.
You.
It's just fake enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. My husband's the same in many ways. I'm always
Yeah.
a little more excited.
Anything else?
Yeah.
So
Hear this, yeah.
my sister and brother-in-law, when they got married, it was a very, very small wedding. And they didn't have there was no dancing. And so it literally was just like the wedding and then we had dinner and then literally we just like hung out and had like s'mores and it was
Lovely.
a really lovely wedding. But they didn't have a dance. And so we had them dance before we did at our wedding. We like gave them their first dance. So I completely forgot about that until I was sitting here and then I
So
had a
selfless.
That yes,
yeah,
that's
yeah, and they didn't know,
incredible.
and it was like this whole thing because I was like, they'll never have this. Like, that's a special moment that they should share. And yeah, and I totally forgot about that until literally right now. And the whole wedding was like a lot of the people. We had like 35 people at our wedding. My sister had like 9. It was literally just like immediate family.
Yeah.
And so like some aunts and uncles of mine that like weren't even invited to my sister's wedding because that
Yeah.
just wasn't the vibe.
Yeah.
Got to see them dance to their song and they had no idea. So they like turned the song on really low. And then like the MC like took the mic and was like, the song like this was a special request, like this is whatever. And my sister went,
Was she like sobbing?
oh
There's no
yeah.
I feel like how do you
No,
how do you
Cody was
not?
sobbing. Like they both cried. They have really beautiful video and photos from like my wedding. And so if anything at all, my wedding was for that.
Gift
moment
for
for them.
that.
Mhm.
That's amazing and so selfless. And also like seeing the little intentional moments like that people tie into their special days that really make it worth remembering and
Yeah.
make it something that they will carry with them for the rest of their lives. That is like the most special thing. I love that. I love that you have that.
Okay, I have several. One, favorite part of my wedding day. As someone who has now been married for
Quite a long time.
7 years? 7 years? Yeah, 7 years. One of my most fond moments that I look back on is actually gonna be a really funny answer because it kind of circles back to our earlier conversation. We had a mess up with the DJ and like I was super upset.
Yeah.
Like he came super underprepared. It was this whole big miscommunication and like basically the music was no, they didn't have like a large speaker system. It was going through like PA system in the building, but it was much lower. It was this whole thing and I was upset.
Yeah.
And so this is the hindsight favorite part, and then I'll give you like my like the day of favorite parts. So the hindsight one is I was really upset about the music. Obviously, that is not my favorite part, but this all happened, and of course, like the first dance was very quick after, and then the father daughter and like mother son, like all of that happened pretty quick after. And in hindsight, when I look back now, one of my favorite moments is Alec consoling me in that moment because, of course, we were doing our first dance, and so like we pictures. There are some photos that I can still to this day look at and go, that's not a real smile. Like I was
Yeah.
pissed.
Uh-huh.
But I like now look back and go like, I just remember feeling very loved and supported by Alec in that moment and him just being there and being like, she's upset. I'm gonna console her. I'm gonna make her laugh. I'm gonna do all these things. And he really did. And then honestly, the same with my dad. Like my dad for the father-daughter dance. Like he was just trying to make me laugh. But I remember, so in hindsight, looking back, that actually was one of my I wish I could change it,
Right.
but in hindsight, it's one of my favorite moments because it was just a moment of like, no, like this is actually what marriage is about. It's not this perfect day, though those are fun and nice. It's showing up for the other person whenever they feel down or whenever they feel whatever.
Yeah.
And I did feel very seen, loved, and cared for by Alec that day and by my dad. And like that was like a
Yeah.
special moment. But like on a fun side, I had one time jokingly said to Alec, so we did the garter toss. I don't know. We did all the things that people think are cringy now. And you know what? I have zero regrets. It was fun as hell. We did the garter toss, and so like Alec, like I sat on the best man's lap. Alec went under my dress, did like grabbed the garter
The
with
whole
his
thing.
mouth. Like we
Yeah.
did the whole thing. And I had jokingly one time many months prior was like, oh my god, during the garter toss, you should play Pony by Magic Mike. I was joking.
That's like the default song now
Mhm.
for the event.
So I can see the photos. I can see my granny and my grandma at like this table right in the front, and they put on Pony, and Alex starts grinding on top. He is giving me a lap dance,
Oh.
and I'm sitting on his best man, Peanut, who is laughing. He like his head's thrown back, laughing hysterically, and there's just a photo of him pushing Alec off me, and I was like, my granny's here. And so it was just funny, like looking back at it now, like we were goofy and we laughed about it the whole time. And then the last favorite part of the day was actually after it was all said and done, and it was heading home and like the wedding night. We did nothing hanky panky. We literally barely got to eat during the wedding.
Yeah.
Because like every time we would go to eat,
So
we'd
real.
get pulled somewhere, so we put it down. And I just remember we had takeout, like not takeout, leftovers from the wedding, and our wedding night was filled with sitting on the hotel bed, cracking open like 4 containers of like leftover food from our wedding and absolutely pigging out
demolished.
That sounds so good.
and
Yeah.
being like, holy shit, we're married.
Oh yeah.
Stuffing my face with potatoes. Thank you.
I made my husband take me through the Taco Bell drive-through at like 2:30 in the morning on our wedding night
And that's
to stuff
amazing.
myself with some Taco Bell
Yeah.
and then stain it on my wedding dress,
That's
which
great.
I got out.
There we go. There she is.
Let's talk
with the
about it.
toothpaste.
Was it toothpaste?
No, actually, it wasn't toothpaste. It was a shout wipe this time, which I don't typically recommend, but I had it out and I was like, well, I already wore it. You know, it was the end of the day. So
Give it a go.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
That's funny.
Amazing. Okay, so what is one thing, like if there's a bride listening,
Mhm.
what's one thing you would want her to know?
If you're in the throes of it and you are like, this sucks, I want to throw the towel in, I want to elope, cancel everything, cancel all the vendors. I don't care if I'm thousands of dollars out or whatever. If you're in the throes of it, the way that you feel right now doesn't have to be the way that you feel about planning your wedding. It doesn't have to be that way. I know I'm one of the few when I did enjoy 99% of my wedding planning process. But there are things that we can both do for each other that can make that process and that wedding planning journey actually enjoyable. You may never want to do it again, and that's totally fine, but you don't have to hate it. This is an event that is, like I said, the catalyst for your married life. It's such a big thing that you're putting so much time and money and energy into planning. Why are you dreading it? I mean, this is the person that you love. Why do you hate this process? Why are you just so like, why are you letting yourself live in that space when there are resources like hiring a wedding planner that you can bring in that are going to make that experience 10, 15, 20 times better?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Truly.
Yeah, I love that.
From a like more logistical perspective, when it comes to planning and executing events as on as large of a scale as a wedding, even if that doesn't mean big as in numbers, what are your top tips or must do's for like 6 months out, 3 months out, 30 days out, week
Yeah.
of, day of?
Yeah.
How does that look?
Definitely like book everything as far in advance as you can. I know a lot of people are like, well, what if I change my mind?
Don't.
You can, I mean, yeah, don't. You can change your mind, but the further out that you plan, the more like choice of the crop you're going to have, the more availability you're going to come across with the vendors that you're looking at. And you're going to get to, not that you're not going to work with vendors that you like and get along with and have good like repertoire with, or is it the right word? Rapport, yeah, rapport with. But like the further out that you book in advance, the more control you have over truly your choice, not choice because this is what's left. So, I mean, typically I like to see engagements last at least a year. If you want to be really on the ball, I recommend like a year and a half. And when you're starting, I mean, I'm not even the most important vendor on wedding day. It's your media team because that's the one like tangible thing that you walk away with.
Correct.
And media team, like the photographer, videographer, content creator, whatever it is, they are my priority on wedding day after the couple. It's not mom, it's not dad, it's not Aunt Sharon who thinks she's planning the wedding. It is your photographer and your videographer. I make sure that they have what they need so that they can do their job efficiently. So start there. Pick a photographer, pick a venue, pick a date. Those are like the 3 big things. Whatever your dream vendor is for wedding day, that's like the best starting place for you because this is an event to reflect you. So start there. And then when it gets time, like again, find your dress early because shipping, especially after COVID and after just the way that the world is today, shipping wedding dresses can take like 6 to 8 months. And then if you have to do alterations on top of that, that can take 3 more months. And that's if things go well.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can get a wedding dress in less time than that, but I mean, be prepared. And do these things early because you don't want to have to stress about waiting till last minute.
Or settle for a dress you don't love.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So do those things first. There are phases to planning a wedding, but it really just kind of depends on each vendor has different requirements of what you need. So it just goes off of what they need from you and when. And having a wedding planner helps you keep all that organized.
Yeah. Really, long story short, get a wedding planner, but also like as early as possible.
Yeah.
Start planning because the earlier the better. And the more organized you'll feel too. Even as a bride, there's so many details that even as a bride you have to think of and manage.
Yeah.
And I'm a crazy organized person and I will have spreadsheets up the butt for things like that and to-do lists and all that jazz and Pinterest boards,
Yeah.
Also there's one that I feel, hi, this is my start.
Yeah.
Please take all of this stress away from me.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I think things that like if you want to wait to tackle some parts of wedding planning, let it be like your decor so that you're not storing all of that shit in your house for months and months on end. My husband was like, can we get this out of here? This is everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, like the weekend we got engaged, we were engaged for a year and a half. The weekend we got engaged, I drove 3 hours to go shopping for wedding decor. And I was like, I don't even know what I want my vision to look like, So like hold off on that. Let the rest of the things kind of fall into place and let that kind of guide you into what you want that to look like. And then there are things like building out your shot list and whatnot. If you do those things too early, when it comes time to review them for a wedding your day, you're like, I don't even know why I put this on here.
What did I mean when I wrote this?
Yeah, exactly. So don't stress yourself out with these like trivial things that actually can wait when you really should be taking care of like booking vendors or things like that. But yeah.
When it comes to planning a wedding or planning and executing any big event, what are the top like 2 or 3? You've kind of mentioned a few already, I think, but what are the top like 2 or 3 things you see people stress most about? And then also the things they're not stressing enough about that you think they should be more.
Yeah. I think people read your contracts. Like this isn't like a, term and agreement that's like 30 pages long. Most vendors have a relatively reasonable length contract. Read your freaking contract. I will review it and I'll point out things that I think are important that you need to know, but I'm not a lawyer. Like don't take my advice legally. Read your contract. I've sent brides emails that are like, hey, this contract said this. Are you aware of this? This needs to be done by X date. And she was like, oh, no, I didn't even know that. I was like, well, you're welcome for one.
Ma'am.
You signed this.
You did sign it, yeah. So logistically, read your contracts. That will literally tell you everything you didn't know. And if you still have questions after that, ask them. A lot of people just assume, and then they get to wedding day and they're like, "Oh, you don't do that." Okay, well, now I'm screwed. I thought you would, you know? So that's a big thing. And then when it comes to executing an event like that, like write everything down. A lot of times we're like, "Oh yeah, I'll remember that I want a picture with my second cousin, third removed on my dad's side on wedding day." Oh, you didn't get that picture? How were we supposed to know you wanted that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Correct.
So if you write everything down, then you can kind of go through it, and like it does help to kind of compartmentalize it regularly, categorize it regularly, review it regularly. But nobody knows what's in your brain, and I can't live in your brain. So any assumptions that I make that I'll always like clarify with the couple, but I'm just taking a shot, my best guess in the dark here.
Mhm.
So the more I know about your event, the better job I can do for you. Because again, I don't live in your brain. You have to communicate that to you.
We love you.
I love you guys too.
So, our favorite question to kind of close out the episode, and then you have to let everyone know where they can find you.
Can do.
I know you've heard this question because
Preparing for this question.
correct. I'm gonna plot twist it on you. No,
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If you could go back to the younger version of you before Scarlet and Pine, before the ranch, before everything that has gotten you to where you are today,
Mhm.
what would you tell her?
I'll give you two answers. And they both kind of start with the same line, but like, just fucking send it.
Just send her, bro.
I
Just
love
do
that.
it. Yeah.
Send it.
I love it.
As like a young girl, and I have lived a wonderful, amazing life. I've never traveled out of the country, but I've traveled a lot. I travel frequently, and whether that's for work or personal life. And I love traveling. There are still times that I look back and I'm like, I wish I would have done more, whether it's more travel or tried harder in this scenario, or like I could have been better at that, but I held myself back. Why did I had no reason for doing that. I know you've talked a lot about this, like your brain is wired to live in the safe zone until because you can survive there, but you're not thriving.
Yep.
So I wish, and I've always been an extrovert. I've never really been shy or anything, but I wish I just would have like pushed myself even more out of that comfort zone.
Yep.
And then when it comes to building a business into Scarlet and Pine, I was so terrified. Like, what if it fails? And I finally kind of hit a point in the process of building a business where I was like, hey, what if? And then I hit another point in the process where I was like, there's no way that this can fail. There's literally no way. Like, not because out of fear, like, I can't let this fail, the anxiety, the scaredness,
like
it's
the
there.
death grip.
Yeah, it's like, I love this project with all of my heart, and with everything I'm putting into it, like, I'm giving it my all. There's no way it's gonna fail. Yeah. But, like, fucking send it. I wish I would have done this 10 years ago and was 10 years into my career, or, however long. But, if you're waiting, why? What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
You know? Your life, like, so many people say life is too short to live some way, but life is quite literally the longest thing that you do. So why are you gonna spend that much time in a state of, I'm bored, I'm lazy, I'm not doing what's best for myself, I'm holding myself back? Why are you wasting that much time of your life in that headspace?
Yeah.
Just do it.
And the time is gonna pass anyway.
Yeah.
Like whether
Might
you
as well do
start
it.
now or start 3 years from now, the time is passing, so you may as
Right.
well be 3 more years into it.
Exactly.
I really will plot twist you actually, because you popped a
Okay.
question into my mind.
Let's do it.
In what ways, now we know that just send it is what you would tell your younger self.
Yeah.
How are you living in that answer now?
Yeah. A big part of that was like coming out here and working with you guys. Um, I'm throwing all of my time and energy apart from like working on a ranch and maintaining our livelihood, but a lot of my resources are going into Scarlet and just like investing in myself and not being afraid to push out of that comfort zone, and invest money, because it takes money to build the business. You have to invest in your business and in yourself. And for a while before I found you guys, I was like, I have a shitty brand. I'm not pushing myself out there because I don't feel good about it. And, if I fail, then I have an excuse. And I said, well, that's kind of bullshit. So
Yes.
I've found you guys that can support me in a way that's not my strength. Marketing and branding, it's not my strength. So I found support through you to build my confidence in that realm. And if you have to outsource something, do it. If you're not the best in something, find someone who is, because we are all out here to support each other. And if you lean into those resources, then like you don't even know what's going to happen. 'Cause look where we are now.
Yeah. And you get to skip
Literally.
steps that way.
Yes.
Right? Like,
Yeah, I was struggling over a shitty brand, and I was like, I don't want to put myself out there because this sucks and it doesn't look good. So now I'm not bringing in clients because I'm not putting it was like this
Cycle.
snowball,
Totally.
never ending cycle of just, what the fuck am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started stepping out of that comfort zone and breaking that cycle and breaking that circle. And now things are just like catapulting and they're moving so fast. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't keep up.
Yeah,
We're going.
but
Here we
we're in
are.
it.
We're
Yep.
doing it.
The wheels are off and we're still moving.
Yeah, they're rolling real quick.
And it all starts with that self-belief of going, you know what? No, I can do it. And I
Yeah.
want to feel confident in what I'm putting out into the world, because you're right. Like, just fucking send it. Just go
Yeah.
for it.
I love
Give it your all,
Mhm.
because if not, you're going to look back one day and go, I wish.
Here
I
it is.
wish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I love it.
I saw something that said, I want to look back on my life and say, I can't believe we did that. Not, I wish we would have done
Amen.
Yes.
Mhm.
Literally all day.
that.
That's
Absolutely.
yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Thank you for being here with us today.
We adore
Tell all the
you.
amazing people how they can love on you.
You can love on me by letting me love on you. Let me support you on your wedding day. You can find me at www.scarletandpine.com or on all social medias at Scarlet and Pine Events. And it's Scarlet with one T.
I literally was
going.
like, can we spell this? I mean, we're going to put it in the show
Yeah.
notes, but for anyone who's like listening and is ferociously typing.
Yeah.
And also, not to be cheated or anything, or biased. www.scarletandpine.com is really beautiful. So if anything, go check out her website.
We did do
It's
my
stunning.
branding if you didn't catch on to that.
We did. And it's literally like, I'm actually not like, it's one of my favorite branding projects that I've ever done.
I'm
The
obsessed with it.
icon
Yeah.
specifically is a work of art.
Uh-huh.
For anyone who has not seen it, you should go look
Physical
at it.
work of
I am
art,
really
yeah.
freaking proud of it.
I have a lot of other like branding aspects in my brand
Yes.
Bible,
Mhm.
but I just always default to the icon because it is truly my favorite. Like, I don't want to use anything else.
It's so, and the way we got there, that can be a whole other episode, so I'm not going to go into a huge story, but like, that is the power of branding. It makes you feel so confident in what you're putting out there. And it's not because it's just a logo that says your name, even though
Yeah.
there is that portion of it too.
Yeah.
But it's true branding is an experience, and it should make someone feel something, both the audience for your ideal client as well as yourself. I know some branders out there will be like, your logo's not for you, your brand's not for you, it's for your ideal client. And part of that's true, because you do
Yeah.
want to attract that ideal client.
Right.
But when you can have a piece of yourself into that branding,
Yeah.
even if it's tiny, even if it's subliminal, you are going to feel so much more connected to it, and you're going
Mhm.
to want to
You're going to
paste
show
it
up
on
differently.
everything.
You're going to show up
And-
I
differently.
literally want to put it on everything.
And
Yeah.
this icon is quite literally Lynley's story. So I know with wedding planning, you are helping people take their current chapters, blend them into a new one, and kick off this new life. But
Yeah.
this icon specifically represents so many of your past chapters. And
Yeah.
it's
It really
stunning.
does. And I think that's like the coolest part, because it's like bringing my past and my knowledge and my experience so that we can set your future off on the right foot.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell
That's
yeah.
it.
Hell yeah.
Cheers, friends.
Send her.
Send it. Just send
Just
it.
send
That
it.
is the
Cheers.
lesson of today's episode. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I will
Yeah.
come back anytime because I absolutely love you guys and you're amazing.
As are you. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We have new episodes coming out every Thursday, so we will catch you in one of the next ones.
And please take some time, follow us on @FindYourFuse or email us at info@findyourfuse.com for all inquiries and all exciting things that you want to chat with us about. We love building this community and we love you. Take some time and leave a review. Anything above 5 stars, we'd love it. But really, we appreciate you and we appreciate your feedback in any form, because the more feedback we can get, the better we'll get. Okay, love you. Bye.